Dorit Kemsley drags Sutton Stracke for saying she had enough surgery to look pretty. Andy Cohen teased and activated Dorit Kemsley this season, and we're seeing hints of that in her interviews. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has been doing press for season 14, and we're noticing a different side to the fashionista. She dragged Sutton Stracke during a recent interview, boldly telling the Southern Belle to bring it on. Sutton was the one who threw the first jab at her castmate in a video that was shared on social media. The 53-year-old is getting a taste of her own medicine after making a shady comment about Dorit having enough surgery to look pretty. Sutton might have been the one who lit that flame, but Dorit just threw gasoline on the fire. We've never seen this side of Dorit, but it will certainly be a welcome change in season 14. Housewives Dorit Kemsley drags Sutton Stracke over her plastic surgery comment. Dorit has been going through a lot over the past several months, and the Housewives star is making it known that she's done being a pushover. She clapped back at Sutton during an appearance on the virtual reality podcast and addressed her shady chat with Housewives star Lisa Barlow. I think Lisa Barlow had said, "Well, she's pretty," and Sutton said, "Well, anyone can be pretty, with plastic surgery," insinuating that I had to have plastic surgery to be pretty, shared Dorit. "I was thinking to myself, why hasn't Sutton done it then?" retorted Dorit. "She has the money, right? She can afford vodka and plastic surgery, so why hasn't she done it, if it's that easy?" In case you missed it, Sutton trashed Dorit while playing a guessing game with Lisa Barlow for MTV UK. Lisa threw the first shade, giving a clue that the cast member whose card she was holding lives way above her means. "Oh, it's Dorit," responded Sutton. As the two discussed the Beverly Beach founder, Lisa exclaimed, "She's pretty though." "Well, when you've had enough surgery, anybody can be pretty," responded Sutton. Dorit denies plastic surgery claims and tells critics to bring it on. Dorit Kemsley also responded to the plastic surgery claims during her interview. "I promise you I would happily tell you if I did anything other than my boobs, any plastic surgery, and I have not," declared the Housewives star. Meanwhile, Dorit has grown exhausted with Sutton's behavior, noting that she wasn't surprised by her latest shade. "She likes the attention, she likes the headlines," noted the mom of two, "but what she doesn't like and doesn't do very well with is dealing with the consequences. Listen, the ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* between Dorit Kemsley and Sutton Stracke on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had been simmering for weeks, but it finally boiled over during a group dinner at an upscale Los Angeles restaurant. The cast had gathered to celebrate Garcelle's latest success, her new feature film premiere. Spirits were high, but all it took was one offhand comment from Sutton to ignite a full-on verbal sparring match. It began innocently enough. Garcelle, ever the gracious host, raised a toast to her friends and asked everyone to share their highlights of the year. When it was Sutton's turn, she turned to Dorit and said with her southern drawl, "Well, I've gotta say, Dorit, you've had quite the glow-up this year. How you managed to look so perfect?" Dorit, taken aback, laughed politely, though her eyes narrowed slightly. "Oh, thank you, Sutton. I have my ways." Sutton sipped her wine, a mischievous glint in her eye. "Must be all that, subtle work you've had done. You've reached just the right point of looking refreshed. Not too much, not too little," she said with a laugh that she clearly meant to sound harmless, but it only made Dorit's eyebrows shoot up. "Excuse me?" Dorit tilted her head, her voice taking on that familiar edge. Her accent slipped into a crisp, almost biting tone. "What do you mean by subtle work, Sutton?" "Oh, come on, Dorit, don't get your feathers all ruffled," Sutton replied, waving her hand as though brushing off Dorit's reaction. "I just meant that, it's clear you've had some help to look this pretty." Dorit's expression hardened, her polished facade slipping momentarily. "Pretty? Honey, I don't need to chase pretty. I'm already stunning." The table fell into an awkward silence, the air thick with tension. Kyle glanced nervously at Garcelle, who raised her brows, already bracing for the confrontation brewing between the two women. Sutton, clearly not picking up on Dorit's irritation, took another sip of her wine and smiled sweetly. "Well, Dorit, it's Beverly Hills. We all get a little help here and there." Dorit's jaw clenched, but she forced a smile. You know, Sutton, there's a difference between getting a little help and assuming that someone's entire look is manufactured. Sutton's eyes widened, realizing Dorit's words weren't coming from a place of playful banter. Oh, Dorit, don't take it so personally. I was just trying to pay you a compliment. I thought we could all agree we've had our little enhancements. Dorit took a deep breath, her gaze cool and unwavering. Sutton, maybe you think pretty is a finish line. For me, it's a lifestyle. I take pride in looking after myself in every single detail, not just for the cameras or for the critics, but for myself. Sutton's face reddened and she stammered, well, I never meant to imply that you don't take care of yourself. I was just saying you've had enough done, you know? Like the perfect amount. This time, Dorit couldn't hold back. She straightened her back, leaned forward, and looked Sutton directly in the eye. Sutton, it sounds to me like you're trying to give a backhanded compliment, as if you're saying I needed work to look beautiful. Kyle chimed in, sensing the blow-up coming. Ladies, let's just remember why we're here. It's for Garcelle's big night. But Dorit was too far in now, and Sutton's eyes narrowed, her lips pursed as she chose her words carefully. Dorit, honey, I think it's admirable that you're open to the enhancements. It's only honest. We're in Beverly Hills, after all, and who among us hasn't had a little something? Honest? Dorit's voice dripped with disdain. Let's talk about honesty, Sutton. Honesty isn't dropping thinly veiled insults and pretending they're compliments. Garcelle leaned back, her lips curled into an amused grin. She knew better than to intervene at this point. Sutton seemed genuinely baffled by Dorit's intensity, still not grasping how her words might have come across. Look, I didn't mean anything by it, Sutton said defensively. I just think you look great, and I'm saying it's paid off, hasn't it? Dorit shot back, yes, it's paid off because I work hard to take care of myself. Maybe you should focus on your own look rather than analyzing every little thing I do. The tension reached a fever pitch, and the other women looked back and forth, waiting for one of them to back what Dorit was too far in now, and Sutton's eyes narrowed, her lips pursed as she chose her words carefully. Dorit, honey, I think it's admirable that you're open to the enhancements. It's only honest. We're in Beverly Hills, after all, and who among us hasn't had a little something? Honest? Dorit's voice dripped with disdain. Let's talk about honesty, Sutton. Honesty isn't dropping thinly veiled insults and pretending they're compliments. Garcelle leaned back, her lips curled into an amused grin. She knew better than to intervene at this point. Sutton seemed genuinely baffled by Dorit's intensity, still not grasping how her words might have come across. Look, I didn't mean anything by it, Sutton said defensively. I just think you look great, and I'm saying it's paid off, hasn't it? Dorit shot back, yes, it's paid off because I work hard to take care of myself. Maybe you should focus on your own look rather than analyzing every little thing I do. The tension reached a fever pitch, and the other women looked back and forth, waiting for one of them to back.